You're listening to the Living Mandala podcast. My name is Aura. And of course, I'm joined here by Nicole Cullum of Caravan. This is the Color and the Living Mandala podcast series that we are going color by color by color. We've already done red. We've done orange. We are now on yellow.
Hello, yellow.
I couldn't resist. Okay, so let's talk about what we're talking about when we say yellow.
So yellow is such a bright, happy color. It's associated with sunshine. It's radiant. It inspires hope. It's warming. It's positive. It's welcoming. And then there's the other side of yellow. Yellow can be sickly. Yellow can be cowardice. Right? Then that's so embedded in our language, yellow belly, or golden is the sun, right? So yellow transitions quite the gamut in our language.
Pale lemons all the way to mustards, right, and sort of everything in between. Okay, yellow. So we see yellow in nature. You've already mentioned several. The sun. But I'm also, of course, thinking flowers and birds and fruits and wheat. Okay, yellow is very common, right? Actually,
yellow is one of the first colors used in prehistoric cave paintings. It's a primary color.
Oh, like red,
like red and blue. So yellow is kind of fundamental to the warm aspects of our color wheel.
And so then how did we, as humans, harness the color yellow and all its derivatives to do stuff, to make fabrics and decorate and paint?
Well, we dug it up. So you think about yellow ochre, it's in our soil, and then sulfur.
Oh, sulfur. Comes with a bonus smell.
It really does. And maybe that's where some of the negative connotations of yellow.
It smells pretty bad.
But you also have I love this one. So Indian yellow actually comes from it's a pigment obtained when a cow eats only mango leaves.
Oh,
so I'll leave you to connect the dots on that one.
Oh, and of course, you just said India, and it just triggered it. Saffron.
That's right.
That's how you get your yellow rice, and that delicious, and turmeric, and all of those. In fact, I've personally used both saffron and turmeric to make yellow and to dye things.
Right. I love when dyes come from foods.
Right.
Like double bang for your buck. You can eat it and wear it.
Right. Yellow. Cool. Spiritual dimensions of yellow. Of course, yellow is, moving up the body, red, orange, yellow. We're talking about in the body with the chakras, the Manipura chakra, the solar plexus chakra. This is, the fire in your belly. This is your power center within your body. Power, vitality, transformation, energy. These are all key words for, the solar plexus and the color yellow. Of course, that specific chakra is also linked with fire. I know that red is also, particularly in feng shui, linked with fire, but with the chakras, this is fire, which makes sense. This is like this is like your fire. This is like your fire center within your digestion. Exactly, right? So there's an episode, Chakras of the House episode, where you can really kind of think through the solar plexus chakra, how it sort of expands out into your house and reflects back to you. So spiritual dimensions, but then what about religious dimensions of yellow? What do you have?
Right. So, yellow, again, being one of those first colors, in ancient religions, yellow was seen as a sacred color. Think the sun. What is our first god that we worship? It's the sun that rises. It's the sun that grows our food. So, yellow was also associated with gold. It was seen as an eternal, imperishable, and indestructible. The Egyptians believed that their gods had golden skin and golden bones.
Ooh.
So in the tombs, the gods and their skin was depicted as yellow. In Buddhism, yellow is symbolizes humility.
Hmm.
right? And now if you take that good, bad, I love the dynamics of these colors, because just as colors come in a spectrum, you have the soft creams and the buttery yellows, but then you also have like the ochres and the mustard yellows as they get into these deeper tones. Such does the colors in our culture kind of span, like you have gold, right? Wisdom, wealth, purity. And then you have the deeper aspect of yellow, which in Christianity, yellow is associated with Judas, right?
Oh,
So
interesting.
his betrayal of Christ is associated with cowardice. Think of the term yellow belly,
Yellow.
right? And in even more negative context, in Nazi Germany, Jews had to wear the yellow star.
Wow. Again, that color signaling.
Right. So it really spans the like highs and lows in our religious aspects.
Far out. And then in terms of, you've already tiptoed in some of the emotional dimensions of yellow, cowardice, very common. I'm also thinking, yellow in a newborn baby causes fear and panic in every mother alive because it indicates, jaundice.
Right. That's
So it's weak. It's got a weakness, sickliness aspect to it. Emotional dimensions of yellow. What else do you have?
which is fascinating because, yellow is, when we think about yellow, we think cheerfulness, like a yellow songbird, right? Yellow is associated with happiness. It uplifts our moods. It builds our self-esteem. It can make us, feel cozy and happy. It's associated with positivity. People who have a cheerful outlook or confidence and achieve success. It's an intellectual color, actually. It's mentally stimulating, and it affects our memory. We are able to analyze things better. It helps with problem solving. Actually, studies have been shown that yellow encourages networking. So if you were going to a networking event, yellow is a color of communication. So maybe throw on a little bit of yellow in your wardrobe if you're going to a networking event, because it is a collaborative color.
Right. And yellow, just jumping right off of that, yellow in the auric field indicates solid mental powers of concentration. It's also associated with the intellect.
Mm-hmm.
I can see, how that would make you very approachable to others.
Right.
As you're wearing yellow is excellent to wear when you're teaching or learning, or even studying for a test.
Yes.
It really, if you're feeling scattered or something like that, yellow can actually help you focus your attention. It's helpful to work with in visualizations to dispel fear. And it could be, I don't know, because it's associated with the solar plexus. That's my wondering about that.
Like go with your gut.
Yeah, maybe something like that. Of course, we can't talk about yellow without talking about gold.
That's right.
Gold is just quite literally the energy of wisdom, illumination, self-confidence, faith, inner strength, courage. I'm thinking about like the cowardly lion.
Heart of gold,
right? Gold in the aura, you have the power and the will to master your lower self.
Ooh.
Right? That's pretty hardcore. Gold brings strong dynamic powers that can cut you loose from feeling such things as frustration, futility, and inadequacy. Gold is a very, as a metal, is extremely valuable. It's very illuminating. Gold jewelry is very illuminating to whatever it, is next to, whether it be a necklace or whether it be a crown or whether it be, other types of jewelry.
Well, and that's funny because people with metal allergies usually can only wear gold.
That's right. Yeah, there's some purity about gold, specifically. Okay, so kind of shifting out of the emotional and auric field dimensions and bringing it back down into our body and actually our homes. How would you advise folks to think through yellow?
Right. So yellow is a stimulating, clarifying color. It sharpens our memory. So yellow is great in an office environment. Cream is yellow. If you add white, if you tint the yellow white, you get, those soft buttery creams. It's warm but not overpowering, so it kind of it's a step down from those bright whites that can kind of be a little too clinical and harsh. Adding that warmth in there is great for kitchen areas. Deep golds in dining rooms help with digestion.
Right.
It's all in that.
But not as like activating and stimulating as like red.
Right. Like red is like, I'm hungry. It stimulates our appetite. Whereas yellow is like, I've eaten and I need to digest this.
And it feels good.
So think about, like buttery yellows in kitchens. It's a warm, cozy color. So you can use soft yellows in like a nursery. It's good in teenagers' bedrooms because it sharpens their memory and it focuses them, and it's good for study environments.
Yes.
I thought that was a great.
We think of a yellow school bus.
Totally.
Right.
Yellow pencil, number 2.
Right.
Yes.
All throughout schooling.
It is. Now, but too much yellow, the bright yellows can be agitating. So yellow tends to be one of those colors where you love it or hate it, right? Like the bright yellows can be really anxiety causing for some people. Like you don't want to use bright yellows. Studies have been shown that using stronger yellows in like hospital environments, actually when people are stuck long term in their rooms, it causes more anxiety than it helps.
Fascinating.
Because it's an activating color. You actually want to use the cooler aspect of the color wheel in hospital environments rather than the warmer colors.
Right. Like you would use in a study or in,
Exactly.
Yeah. And then kind of shifting slightly into, the sort of the feng shui side of things, yellow is often used in the part of the home where creativity and children, that's the middle right section of the home, or a room or whatever environment you're working in. So, for example, I've taken feng shui things like so literally in some parts of my life that the middle right room of my house is yellow. It's
your dining room.
My dining room is yellow. It's also where I homeschooled my children for many years. So they were homeschooled in a sunny yellow environment. Yeah. Yellow can be used sometimes, to also pick up some of the fire element, simply because that is on the spectrum of fire. But really, yellow is associated more with earth element. Gold is more associated with metal element for
mental clarity.
Obvious reasons, right? And so, earth element is helpful, again, in the center of the home, similar to orange. It's a very earthy, grounding color, but when used as a metal, depending on, the kind of the layout and the spatiality of your home, there are other places within the home that metal, gold, whether it be gold or silver, or just the fact that it's metal, can be helpful. So yellow is used to balance yin and yang, of course. It's used in all the ways that you think it is. Gold in feng shui is very interesting. It's similar to red in the sense that it's often used in decor to attract wealth and abundance.
Of course.
So for like I said, feng shui, for like 98% of it's really obvious. And so, it's really great to have in your wealth corners. If you know where your wealth corners are in your home, gold is a great color to have there. It can enhance that fame and recognition part of your home as well because of the, loose associations there with fire. Gold is often used as a decorative accent color.
Yes.
So you're not going to, unless you're a certain orange-headed president and have a gold toilet, you're not going to probably use it like that. It's going to be more of an accent color, right? It really does symbolize spiritual growth and enlightenment. It really, really is. It can be helpful in meditation spaces or other areas devoted to personal growth. So that's gold.
Well, think about it. You're concentrating, right?
Right.
You're focusing. You're sharpening your powers of concentration.
Right.
So an interesting note on gold or yellow in our light is that in interior design, you have, if you look on a paint strip, look at the bottom color of the paint on the paint strip, and that will kind of tell you the undertones of all the rest of the colors on that paint strip.
Okay.
Well, our light, depending on the direction that your room faces.
Oh, I see.
Southern facing rooms and west facing rooms get more of that afternoon light, which is more yellow.
Very yellow.
Right. So if you are going to paint your room, you want to actually kind of color correct that light. So you want to choose on your paint strip, look towards the bottom, you want to choose colors that almost have a little bit more of a cooler undertone to it, because if you choose a color, unless this is what you're going for, if you choose a color with a warm undertone, when it in a south-facing room, it's going to be
For a few hours of the day.
south-facing rooms in particular get a lot more light than the west-facing rooms. West-facing gets really bright in the afternoon, and it's more cool in the morning light. But your color will read much more peach, orange, yellow. So you have to be careful when you are painting your room and noticing the direction that your light is coming from.
That is a pro tip.
Yes, because your color can just be like way more yellow than you thought it was going to be.
It's debatable that might be happening in my dining room.
Oh, okay.
Leo, it's a south-facing room, and boy, it is very yellow.
But you wanted it to be yellow.
I did.
So
I overtly was going for yellow, so check. In terms of the planetary astrology with yellow, we got a little turned around. Remember in orange, how, yes, orange is definitely second chakra and Jupiter, but the yantra associated with Jupiter is actually yellow. So I'm going to talk more about it. I'm going to give it more attention here because it is the yantra it's the yellow one, and it's associated with Thursday overtly. Like, there's nothing else to talk about. It's the yantra for Thursday is yellow. So, like I said in the orange episode, on Thursdays, I do tend to wear a lot of yellow or orange. I also will wear yellow on Sundays for, sun, the overt sun reference. There's one other day of the week that I will wear yellow, but we'll get to that in a minute.
now, are we talking soft yellows, or are you like going big, going home?
Well, yellow, on Thursdays, sometimes I will wear head to toe yellow.
Power yellow.
I will embody yellow,
Yeah.
or embody peach, or embody orange, or, some shade. Sundays, I have also often fully worn yellow head to toe because it's associated with the sun. Okay. And now our favorite part of the show, yellow and the embodied goddess. Okay. How many do you have?
I have, let's see, I have like 5, maybe.
Okay. I have 4. So you go first.
Okay. So my first one is Saint Bridget. She is a Celtic triple goddess. Fire of the hearth. She is a Greek goddess or Celtic goddess of fertility, family, childbirth, and healing.
Okay, we have a match. I
want our first match.
Yes. And the only thing I would add to that would be that she's celebrated on Imbolc, which is like that little spark of spring. It's usually around February 1st, February 2nd. It's a little spark of flame of like, okay, spring allegedly is coming, everybody. Bridget is associated with Imbolc.
Okay, I'm going to build off of that. Persephone.
Okay, that's your second one.
The Greek goddess of spring. She's also the queen of the underworld. So she's associated with fruits and flowers, pomegranates, lilies, the daisy. So she is that first little winter is over, spring has arrived.
Perfect. Okay. I have down Oshun, a Yoruban African goddess, one of the Orishas, most often linked with, waterfalls, things like that. But she's often depicted wearing yellow. She's the goddess of pleasure and joy. So I have Oshun down for those reasons.
Okay. I've got Athena again. Athena pops up because, wisdom, gold, but she's also associated with crafts. So she's associated with weaving, embroidery, metalsmithing. She is concerned with justice, law, and order. So, Athena is definitely hitting that gold aspect of yellow.
Okay, cool. All right, my next one is Corn Mother.
Makes sense to me.
Native American goddess of sustenance, who really is the personification of maize, which is corn. So Corn Mother. Yeah.
Okay. My last one is Rhiannon. She's a Celtic goddess of the sun, endurance, inspiration.
Okay, cool. And my final is Yellow Tara, Tibetan goddess of prosperity. I think I put Lakshmi in red, but I could make a strong case that Lakshmi is also in with this yellow list of women as well. Women, goddesses.
Goddess.
What am I talking about? All right. Anything else to say about the color yellow?
I would encourage you to look around and see where yellow pops up in your own life.
Right.
Are you wearing yellow? Do you eat yellow? Think, squash, peppers, bananas, right? It's so funny that yellow is associated with powers of concentration, and we eat bananas. Bananas have been associated with, that hit of potassium as a focusing element, right? So,
well, and lemon water first thing when you wake up in the morning. It purportedly you drink lemon water, and it lights all your digestive fires. Right. Yellow, yellow, yellow all the way.
Right.
Yeah.
So, are you eating yellow? Are you wearing yellow? Are you living amongst yellow? What is your wall color? Is it a light ivory? Is it a buttery yellow? Are you using it as an accent? Where are you using yellow in your life?
And by the same token, gold, right? So, are you a silver jewelry person or are you a gold jewelry person? Some of the lineages that I am sort of peripherally, adjacent to, you wear gold on the top half of your body and you wear silver on the bottom half of your body. So it's it's a way to, work with the masculine and feminine energies of silver and gold, and gold is waist up. Which is fascinating, right? Okay, so wow. I think we're done with yellow. You're listening to the Living Mandala podcast.